Hello, and welcome to the virtual workshop for the Calaveras County Regional Transportation Plan 2021 update. This project is being conducted by the Calaveras Council of Governments, also known as CCOG, with assistance from LSC Transportation Consultants. This workshop is intended to inform and engage residents from all parts of Calaveras County on planned transportation improvement projects for the region. We'll also be looking for your feedback through a brief survey at the end of this presentation. Let's get started. In this virtual workshop, we will provide an overview of what a regional transportation plan is and why this plan is important for Calaveras County. We will then discuss examples of regional transportation improvement projects and direct you to a website where you can view all of the planned transportation capital improvement projects in your community. At the end of our workshop, we will be discussing the various ways you can get involved in shaping our plan moving forward. A regional transportation plan, also known as an RTP, is a 20-year vision for needed improvements for all types of transportation facilities in a region. This includes roadways, bicycle paths or lanes, sidewalks and crosswalks, airports, public transit, and the movement of goods by way of trucks and rail through Calaveras County. Transportation improvements listed in the plan are intended to improve how Calaveras County residents get around and address issues or concerns regarding safety, traffic congestion, emergency access and evacuation, public health, environmental impacts, and quality of life. In order to determine what improvements are needed, an extensive public and stakeholder outreach effort is conducted along with a review of existing conditions in the county. The RTP update follows a specific process as mandated by state guidelines. An extensive public and stakeholder outreach effort guides each element of the RTP. First, existing and future transportation conditions are discussed for each mode of transportation. Next, goals, objectives, and policies for regional transportation are outlined. We are currently at the action element stage of the process. This includes a list of transportation capital improvement projects as listed on our project website. The financial element then reviews how much money might be available to fund all the improvements over the next 20 years. All RTP elements are then combined into the draft RTP followed by an associated environmental document. After review and comment from the CCOG board, state agencies, and the general public, a final RTP is produced. So why is the RTP an important transportation planning document for Calaveras County? The RTP is required by the state to be updated every 4 years in order to be eligible for state and federal transportation grant funding. The plan provides direction to policymakers in Calaveras County when considering how to spend transportation funding. It is also an opportunity to consolidate local priorities with recommendations included in other transportation studies such as bicycle plans, highway corridor plans, and safety plans so that they are all under one document for guidance and ease of reference. A primary component of the RTP is a list of short and long-term transportation capital improvement projects. Transportation capital improvement projects improve or expand the transportation infrastructure. There are many types of projects listed in the RTP. Roadway RTP projects consist of constructing a new roadway, widening or realigning an existing roadway, or intersection improvements such as traffic signals or roundabouts. An example of a high-priority roadway project in Calaveras County is the Highway 4 Wagon Trail Realignment Project between Copperopolis and Angels Camp. Bridge projects are needed to replace bridges which have reached the end of their useful lives. An example of a high-priority bridge project in this RTP is the replacement of the Oberyn's Ferry Road Bridge in Copperopolis. There are also a wide variety of projects in the RTP which address non-motorized transportation issues such as constructing bicycle paths separated from vehicle traffic and creating safer pedestrian crossings on roadways. The Angels Trail and Angels Camp is an example of a high-priority bicycle and pedestrian project. Public transit infrastructure projects include new or improved bus stops and the replacement of old transit vehicles. Another example of an RTP public transit project is the purchase of electric vehicle charging infrastructure to support the transition to an electric bus fleet. Airport projects are those which keep the runway and taxiways safe and operable at the Calaveras County Airport, such as pavement reconstruction. An example of a goods movement project is the installation of passing lanes on a state highway with a considerable amount of truck traffic. Lastly, examples of a maintenance project includes roadway resurfacing and repaving. This 2021 RTP update represents several changes that have occurred since the adoption of the current RTP in 2017. Existing conditions were updated to reflect current and future population, demographics, traffic, and roadway conditions. The policy element, which is a series of goals, policies, and objectives, is being updated to reflect current regional priorities and to better align with state and federal requirements. Lastly, recommendations from various recent transportation planning studies were all incorporated under this 2021 RTP update. These studies include those listed below. The Calaveras Council of Governments would like to make sure that the projects listed in the RTP include all needed improvements in the region. Therefore, we ask that you please review the project lists and let us know if we've missed anything. The first step in doing this would be to visit the RTP project webpage at calicog.org/project/RTP-update. This link is also provided in the description box below. On this webpage, you will find draft lists of transportation improvement projects for each community in Calaveras County. Review these lists to make sure they address all the transportation-related issues in your community. For example, is there a roadway in your town where it is hazardous for a pedestrian to cross in order to access goods and services? Let us know what you think by either visiting the survey link on the RTP webpage or by scanning the QR code with your smartphone now. This survey will ask you a few questions, then give you an opportunity to tell the CCOG your thoughts on transportation needs and issues in Calaveras County. A link to this survey is also provided in the description box below. We would also appreciate you sharing this presentation and our online survey with others who may be interested via email or social media. Have you any other input, questions, or comments? You may contact the RTP Project Manager, Genevieve Evans, directly through the contact information listed here. This virtual workshop and the online survey will be available until April 16th. The next step in the RTP process will be to refine the Transportation Improvement Project list to reflect comments received through the survey and other stakeholder input. A draft RTP and associated environmental document will be available for public review in July and presented to the CCOG board on August 4th. The public will then have another opportunity to comment on the plan as part of this forum. The final RTP is expected to be adopted in early October. This concludes our virtual workshop. Thank you so much for participating, and please don't forget to check the description box below for links to the project website and our online survey. Have a great day.